Welcome back to Newsmaker. Sudden cardiac arrest is the abrupt loss of heart function, breathing, and consciousness. Now, few people survive this kind of health event. Our next guest, Dr. Brenda Brown, is a survivor. She joins us now to discuss her brush with death, along with Deborah Collins, who was there when it happened. Thank you both for joining us, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
Dr. Brown, first of all, had you been involved with the CRIM Festival of Races prior to 2016?
Yes.
So you had trained before?
I had trained before. Actually, when CRIM first started back in the 70s, I was a student at my college and I ran in the very first CRIM.
Okay, so you've been participating.
I was familiar with, yes.
Okay, so here it is August. Training usually starts in May.
Yes.
And here it is August and you're training for the 10-mile walk.
Yes.
And so you've trained all of these months, and then August 14th. Tell me what happened leading up to August 14th. Was it a pretty uneventful training season for you?
Definitely. Uneventful. Everything was running smoothly for me, or walking smoothly, I should say.
Okay, yeah.
I had participated in road races during that training time. I also worked with some of my colleagues at Baker College. We would work on off CRIM days. I trained 2 days a week with CRIM on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays I was with Baker College colleagues. We were walking over in that area.
And you were experiencing no problems you knew of?
That I knew of that would lead to a cardiac arrest.
So August 14th, you're training and you're mile 8, I think, right around mile 8 over by Powers Catholic High School. What do you remember feeling before that moment, before your collapse?
That's just it. I don't remember anything about August 14th.
Nothing?
I don't even remember anything about the week before. And that actual day, I don't remember. All I know is what was told to me by Deb as my team leader, the rescuers, and then my family. Yeah. But other than that, I don't know anything leading up to that actual day and when I collapsed.
All right. And Deb, so you're the trainer, the group leader.
The group leader.
Yeah. I've trained once for the CRIM. So.
We'll get you back in again.
And so I know what your role is. So you're the trainer, and you weren't there at the moment.
I was not. I'd already crossed the finish line.
You had already crossed, so you weren't there. But when you got the call that one of your team members was down, what did you think?
I was in a panic. I'd already crossed the finish line. My husband called and said, Brenda's down. And I'm like, what do you mean she's down? And he's like, she's down. They're doing CPR. First impulse was that I would run back, but then there was a police car and I flagged him down, explained it, and he got me there lickety-split on that. And by then they were loading her in the ambulance. They were asking me her name. I was confirming who she was. And it was a pretty scary moment.
Yeah, and so were lots of people, describe the activity, were lots of people around her when you arrived?
As we were pulling up, I noticed some of our crimmers that were walking by. I don't think they even realized it was her, but there were people around. A lot of the crimmers were still going on by, but she'd had several people were there. My husband was there. Did you want to say the people that were there? You wanted to give them recognition.
Right, Ashley Kniff, Bernita Seals, and her husband John Collins, and Renee. What's Renee's?
Man.
Renee.
Okay, so they were all there.
They were there, and they actually performed the CPR on me until
you credit
the
them with saving your life?
Definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah. Definitely. I'm forever grateful to these ladies and Jet.
So you were taken from the CRIM training course to the local hospital, and then you were airlifted to the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor. Do you remember much about your recovery?
Before I get into that, I was at Hurley Medical Center for 3 days.
3 days, okay, before you went to Ann Arbor.
Before I went to Ann Arbor, I arrived at Hurley on the 14th to the ER trauma unit. And fabulous people, I don't know who they are, but I say they're fabulous, the doctors, the nurses, because I'm still here. And without them stabilizing me to get me to U of M,
that's where
I wouldn't have made it. So it started with Hurley Medical Center. So I was there for 3 days in ICU. I wasn't aware of anything that was happening there. I was in a hypothermic state. So I wasn't aware. I didn't know anything. And I didn't wake up until the 18th of August at U of M Hospital.
Okay.
And
that was 4 days later.
4 days later. And so I woke up and I look around and I'm thinking I'm at home in my bedroom and I see all of these people, my family, my mom, my friends, my cousins, and I'm thinking, why are you guys in my bedroom?
Yeah.
And they said, you're not at home, you're in the hospital. And so I didn't even then know that I had a cardiac arrest. They were still trying to shelter me from that news because the reason why I was in a hypothermic state is that they wanted my body to be able to relax and my mind not to think about it. So they just totally relaxed me. So I didn't find out until much later that I actually had a cardiac arrest.
So what's so amazing about your story, aside from the fact you survived a sudden cardiac arrest, 3 months after having this incident, you decide to finish what you had started, and that's the Crim Festival of Races. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take a look, because we were there when you crossed the finish line 3 months after having that sudden cardiac arrest. Let's take a look.
Some people take less than an hour to finish the Crim, but for Brenda, her time was measured in months.
But on the edge, you're right on the edge.
Less than 2 miles from completing a training run of the Crim course this summer, Brenda's heart stopped beating.
About 1.3 miles from the finishing line, I went into cardiac arrest, so I didn't have an opportunity to finish.
But this week, Brenda did get the chance to complete the route. Friends and race officials, along with Brenda's son and pastor, joined by her side to finish those 10 miles. And of course, it just wouldn't be a Crim without pre-race jitters.
Well, I'm very excited. I'm a little nervous, some anxiety. But I'm here, so I feel good.
And Brenda finally got to meet and thank in person the 2 women who helped save her life that August morning.
Good.
Thank you.
You look really good.
Yeah. Oh, you guys, I'm gonna cry here. Oh, thank you.
I was petrified myself. It had been a few years since I'd been certified, and it was the last thing on my mind that I thought I would even do that day. But when I saw her go down, and the moment they realized that she needed CPR, it just kicked in that I had to try something.
You may be able to walk and just walk this victory mile.
The 2 joined Brenda and her team of support, thankful to witness her second shot at life and doing what she loves.
I am so honored to recognize your commitment to finishing the Crim, and I am just so honored to be here, to get to be a part of this victory for you.
It makes me feel real good. A number of reasons. I mean, just to be here and to be alive and to see all of this, and then also to know that the work that I put into the training, that I can actually see it move to fruition and that I can actually finish the race.
Even after all she's been through, Brenda says she'll still sign up for the Crim next summer.
Awesome. So when you look back, I heard you say goosebumps. When you look back at that, what does that moment bring back for you?
The reality that life is not guaranteed to you. A couple of things that was the most uppermost thing on my mind. I'm an athlete. I enjoy competing, and I had worked really hard, so I wanted to finish the race, but just to be able to finish and cross over, and I realized that 3 months prior, circumstances could have been completely different.
So it was the reality.
So the reality of knowing that life can be snatched from you just like that, just give you a new outlook and a new perspective on life.
Sure
So
does.
it was rewarding to finish what I had started because I had worked really hard.
trained well.
I trained hard for that. And so I wanted to finish what I had started, but at the same time just recognizing that the God I serve is so good and that I'm here and I'm alive, so just wonderful.
And in our next segment, Dr. Brenda Brown will return and she'll talk to us about her new book. We'll be right back.